The Lumiere brothers, Auguste Marie-Louis Nicolas and Louis-Jean, were the first filmmakers in history. They patented the cinematograph, which in contrast to Edison's peepshow kinetoscope allowed simultaneous viewing by multiple parties. The first film, Sortie de Lumière de Lyon, is considered the first true motion picture. History. The Lumiere brothers were born in Besançon, France, to Charles-Antoine Lumiere and Jean-Josephine Costil-Lumiere, who were married in 1861 and moved to Besançon, setting up a small photographic portrait studio where Auguste and Louis were born. They moved to Lyon in 1870, where son Edouard and 3 daughters were born. Auguste and Louis both attended La Martiniere, the largest technical school in Lyon. The father, Charles-Antoine, set up a small factory producing photographic plates, but even with Louis and a young sister working from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m., it teetered on the verge of bankruptcy, and by 1882 it looked as if they would fail. But when Auguste returned from military service, the boys designed the machines necessary to automate the father's plate production and devised a very successful new photoplate, etiquettes blue, and by 1884 the factory employed a dozen workers. It was not until the father retired in 1892 that the brothers began to create moving pictures. They patented a number of significant processes leading up to the film camera, most notably film perforations as a means of advancing the film through the camera and projector. The original cinematography had been patented by Elie Couteau and Guillaume Boulle on 12 February 1892. The brothers patented their own version on 13 February 1895. The first footage ever to be recorded using it was recorded on March 19, 1895. This first film shows workers leaving the Lumiere factory. The Lumiere's brothers saw film as a novelty and had withdrawn from the film business in 1905. They went on to develop the first practical photographic color process, the Lumiere autochrome. First film screenings. The Lumieres held their first private screening of projected motion pictures in 1895. The American Woodville Latham had screened works of film 7 months earlier, but the first public screening of films at which admission was charged was held on December 28, 1895, at Salon Indien du Grand Café in Paris. This history-making presentation featured 10 short films, including the first film, Sortie des Usines Lumière à Lyon. Each film is 17 meters long, which when hand-cranked through projector, runs approximately 50 seconds. It is believed the first film was actually recorded that same year with Elie Couteau and Boulle's cinematography device, which was patented the previous year. The cinematography, a 3-in-1 device that could record, develop, and project motion pictures, was further developed by the Lumieres. The public debut at the Grand Café came a few months later and consisted of the following 10 short films: Les Sorties de Lumière à Lyon, 46 seconds; Les Jardiniers, 49 seconds; Le Débarquement du Congrès de Photographie à Lyon, 48 seconds; Le Voltige, 46 seconds; La Pêche aux Poissons Rouges, 42 seconds; Les Forgerons, 49 seconds; Repas de Be acute, 41 seconds; Le Saut à la Couverture, 41 seconds; Les Places des Cordeliers à Lyon, 44 seconds; La Mer, 38 seconds. The Lumieres went on tour with the cinematography in 1896, visiting Brussels, Bombay, London, Montreal, New York City and Buenos Aires. The moving images had an immediate and significant influence on popular culture, with l'arrivée du entraîne en gare, tat and Carmo, des fournages du coq. Their actuality films, or actualité, are often cited as the first primitive documentaries. They also made the first steps towards comedy film with the slapstick of La Rose Arrosée. Early color photography. The brothers stated that the cinema is an invention without any future, and declined to sell the camera to other filmmakers such as Georges Méliès. This made many filmmakers upset. Consequently, the role in the history of film was exceedingly brief. In parallel with the cinema work, they experimented with color photography. They worked on a number of color photographic processes in the 1890s, including the Lippmann process and their own bichromated glue process, a subtractive color process, examples of which were exhibited at the Exposition Universelle in Paris in 1900. This last process was commercialized by the Lumieres, but commercial success had to wait for the next color process. In 1903 they patented a color photographic process, the autochrome Lumiere, which was launched on the market in 1907. Throughout much of the 20th century, the Lumiere Company was a major producer of photographic products in Europe, but the brand name Lumiere disappeared from the marketplace following merger with Ilford. They also invented the color plate, which really got photography on the road. Other early cinematographers. The Lumiere brothers were not the only ones to claim the title of the first cinematographers. The scientific chronophotography devices developed by Edward Muybridge, Etienne Jules Mary and Ottomar Anschutz in the 1880s were able to produce moving photographs, as was William Friese Green's chronophotographic system, demonstrated in 1890, and Thomas Edison's kinetoscope, premiered in 1891. Since 1892, the projected drawings of Émile Reynaud's Téléoptique were attracting Paris crowds to the Musée Grévin. Louis Le Prince and Claude Méquant had been shooting moving picture sequences on paper film as soon as 1888, but had never performed a public demonstration. Polish inventor Kazimierz Pruszyński had built his camera and projecting device, called Pliograph, in 1894. Max and Emil Skladanowski, inventors of the bioscope, had offered projected moving images to a paying public 1 month earlier. Nevertheless, film historians consider the Grand Café screening to be the true birth of the cinema as a commercial medium, because the Skladanowski brothers' screening used an extremely impractical dual-system motion picture projector that was immediately supplanted by the Lumiere cinematograph. Although the Lumiere brothers were not the first inventors to develop techniques to create motion pictures, they are often credited as among the first inventors of the technology for cinema as a mass medium, and are among the first who understood how to use it.